Dog Breath, The Horrible Trouble with Hally Tosis by Dav Pilkey. There once was a dog named Hally who lived with the Tosis family. Hally Tosis was a very good dog, but she had one big problem. Hally Tosis had horrible breath. Whenever Hally Tosis opened her mouth, horrible things happened. The wallpaper curled, the plants died, the fish started floating upside down. Even the paintings held their nose when Hally Tosis opened her mouth. When the children took Hally Tosis for a walk, everyone else walked on the other side of the street. Even skunks avoided Hally Tosis. And the babies were covering his nose, and the mummy and the boy, even the skunks. Oh, phew, the bad breath. But the real trouble started one day when Grandma Tosis stopped by for a cup of tea, and Hally jumped up to say hello. And she hit it with her breath, and her hair went, ah! Mr. and Mrs. Tosis were not amused. Something had to be done about that smelly dog, they said. The next day, Mr. and Mrs. Tosis decided to find a new home for Hally. The children knew the only way they could save the dog was to get rid of her bad breath. So they took Hally Tosis to the top of a mountain that had a breathtaking view. They hoped that the breathtaking view would take Hally's breath away. But he didn't. Next, the children took Hally Tosis to a very exciting movie, Breath of a Salesman. They hoped that all the excitement would leave Hally breathless. Look, there's been local robberies here. That's a news box telling you there's bad robbers been stealing things. But the movie didn't take away Hally's breath. Finally, the children took Hally Tosis to a carnival. They hoped that Hally would lose her breath on the speedy roller coaster. You'll lose your breath on our roller coaster. That's what the sign said. And Hally had a great time. And so did the children. But the children behind her, Hally Tosis, didn't enjoy so much. But that idea stunk too, because everyone collapsed. The plan to change Hally's bad breath had failed. Now only a miracle could save Hally Tosis. Sadly, the three friends said goodnight, unaware that the miracle was just on the horizon. Who's that? That looks like those burglars, doesn't it?
That looks like thieves.
Yeah, it's the thieves. The burglars are sneaking in. What's going to happen? Later that night, when everyone was sound asleep, two sneaky burglars crept into the Tosis house. The two burglars were tip-tipping through the quiet rooms when suddenly they came upon Hally Tosis. Yikes, whispered one burglar. It's a big, mean, scary dog. Ah, don't be silly, whispered the other burglar. That's a cute little fuzzy puppy. The two burglars giggled at the sight of such a friendly little dog. That dog couldn't hurt a fly, whispered one burglar. Come here, Poochie, 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 whispered the other. So Hally Tosis came over and gave the burglars a nice big kiss. The next morning, the Tosis family woke up to find two burglars passed out cold on the living room floor. It was a miracle! The Tosis family got a big reward. And in the papers it said, Hero Hound halts hoodlums. Bad breath bungles a burglary. Rancid respirations restrain robbers. Panting pooch paralyzes prowlers. And on the tabloid Times, mutant space dog captures evil Elvis clones. The Tosis family got a big reward for turning in the crooks, and soon Hally Tosis was the most famous crime-fighting dog in the country. That's why everyone wanted her in the newspaper, because she was a hero. In the end, Mr. and Mrs. Tosis changed their minds about finding a new home for Hally. they decided to keep their wonderful watchdog after all. Life without Hally Tosis just wouldn't make any sense. The end.